Hello, good morning. Dr. Joe Schneider from the Hope Center. Um, Today, we have finally gotten a delivery date on our new technology in the office by Spryson. It's called NeuroAI. It's a chair with goggles, two different types of goggles, to look at eye movements while you're in motion and while you're in static. So, in our Hope Center, we decided that we would handle all cases of neurological injury, brain injury, and body injury of neurology in a comprehensive way. We don't do segmented therapy. So I want to warn everybody that calls for consults and comes in for an evaluation and discovery appointment that our system is based on comprehensive rehabilitation and a conventional neurological rehabilitation, which requires a lot of technology. So we have two different types of QEEGs. One is by BrainCore and the other one is by BrainMaster. So we do both on the entry of a patient. We do both of those QEEGs because each one gives us different information and each one can be used differently in the course of your rehabilitation in the office. So what is a QEEG? It's a quantitative electroencephalogram. And what they do is they look at 19 different points on the skull. One is amplitude-based, which is BrainCore system. The other one is a mathematical system that looks at 6,200 points deep within the brain. We had Dr. Richard McAllister on several months ago to talk about the BrainMaster system. He's a brilliant neurofeedback doctor up in North Jersey. One of my colleagues for years. I really enjoy working with him and talking with him. So Dr. McAllister will be doing another segment with us on sleep and neurofeedback. I'm looking forward to that one too, because every time I'm with him, I learn so much. Amazing individual, amazing doctor, got a big heart. So we do the QEEGs to find out how the brain is communicating from one point to the next and getting some really definitive information about that connectivity, and also finding out different protocols with neurofeedback that will improve the connectivity. Now, with neurofeedback, you will improve connectivity, but you will also change the brain metabolically when you do that. So when you start to induce plasticity or rewiring using neurofeedback, you also reduce inflammation. You can improve the oxidant activity or antioxidant activity of the brain. You can improve mitochondrial function, and you really can develop and rewire the brain more successfully. Now, once we do the QEEG, we're going to look at balance. We do the CAPS test. It's a hard plate in which you stand either with your eyes open or eyes closed. You turn your head in different directions, up, down, right, and left. And then you put on a pillow plate. It makes it a little bit more difficult to balance yourself. And then the same thing, eyes open, eyes closed, heads in different position. And we understand that we're getting vestibular and balance information from the CAPS test. The next test we do is DX200. We had the DX100 for years. So we were working with Spryson looking at eye movements. The eye movements we're looking at fixation, Your fixation on the spot, eyes open, eyes closed. Fixation to the right, fixation to the left. And with the light on or in darkness, we're looking at the eyes, the eye movements. We'll see a little bit of shaking going on sometimes, or we look at end stage nystagmus, which is a slow and fast movement, the fast reset of the eyes. Well, then we started looking at a vital scan. The vital scan is to look at an EKG, blood pressure, cuff on your arm, pulse ox on your finger, pulse ox on both your toes on each leg, and blood pressure on each leg. And then we'll have patients go through heavy breathing, bearing down like you're having a bowel movement, seeing how the blood pressure, the oxygen changes, and the heart rate changes, and what directions they're going in. Sometimes they're going in many different directions. They understand why, because the system is injured and it's not controlling right. Also, with the vital scan, we can look at a pseudomotor test. We're looking at bioimpedance in the hands and the feet. And we can get results about hydration. We can get results about the degree of sweat gland activity into the hands and feet, because some people have sweaty palms, sweaty feet, or they have dry feet, dry hands. So we want to look at all that to understand how the autonomic nervous system is functioning. We also have one feature to the vital scan where we look at what's called Q-athlete, aerobic and anaerobic processing, oxygen processing of the cell. Pretty fascinating information that we get, but the more information we get, the better we can treat a patient. For cognitive function, we use the Creos test, and that gives us 12 categories of cognitive processing. And with that, we can design a comprehensive program. Now, I'm a chiropractor. I'm a chiropractic functional neurologist. I've been doing it since 1989. It's a long time. I've been seeing a lot of patients, thousands and thousands of patients come through. I have 2 brain balance centers, so a lot of kids with a lot of really serious disorders that we help also. So the culmination of all my experiences and my own injuries, 3 concussions, traumatic brain injuries, and a stroke in 2017, and my recovery has brought me to the point in which we do comprehensive testing. And it's the only way to do it in our mind. So if you want to be a patient in our office, then we've been getting patients, and it's really hilarious that when we tell them what we're going to do, they're going to say, well, I did this, well, I didn't do this, I did this, I did that. I'll do the things that I didn't do already and see if I can do that. Well, to rewire the brain properly, you have to integrate multiple systems. Even the strong systems need to be integrated with weak systems. There has to be a homeostasis that goes on in your control systems of the brain. Now, the brain is neurons or bodies of a nerve, and axons or wires that go from one point to the next. So the brain and the neurons are reaching out to many different areas of the brain, not only within the cortex itself, right, but in the subcortex where you have your basal ganglion, your thalamus, your amygdala for emotions, and then your brainstem, the mesencephalon, the pons, and the medulla. Now, we've been doing this for a long time, so we understand the connectivity of the brain and when it's not connected, and what we need to do to get it reconnected. We also understand what affects your neurology in your body are pathogens, toxins, food sensitivities, immune type disorders, autoimmunity, and such. So you have to do a metabolic and a functional neurological model to get completely improved function. So we do testing for the metabolism. We look at food sensitivities, we look at mold, we look at heavy metal, and we look at cortisol. There's other tests that we can do, but they're the basics that we do in the office to look at what's going on with the patient. So diagnostics are complete, but not yet. So over 14 months ago, we ordered a $350,000 unit from Spryson. It's called NeuroAI. It's probably the most fantastic diagnostic and therapeutic system that uses AI and certain analytics that no other system can compare to. So we're having a delivery probably within the next couple weeks, and it'll be set up. We're going through construction in the office right now to improve the efficiency of the way we function and to improve our office site. Now, we're going to have one delivered, and then we're going to have two systems in the office. We're really investing majorly in brain rehab, contemporary brain rehabilitation, which is basically plasticity, creating new axons, creating new neurons from stem cells. It's really exciting work to do, but it's also hard to communicate to patients exactly what we want to accomplish with it. So there are some patients that we don't quite get where we want them to go. We get really close, but we don't get them where we want them to go. The new system with Spryson or NeuroAI will take us light years ahead of where we are right now. And we'll have two systems to be able to serve our patients and serve the community. For patients who have lost their life, have incredible life impact. Kids that can't get up out of bed, can't go to school, can't drive, thinking I'm not going to college. Or kids that are in college and can't complete college. It's a crisis right now with COVID, Lyme, other types of viral infections and diseases, traumatic brain injury, auto accidents, sports-related things, skiing, falling on your behind and getting a head injury. All these things can cause brain injury that can affect the way you feel and function. So, NeuroAI by Spryson. I'm going to go through some of the things that we can do with it. And we'll have a blog on it on our website. And not only we have a blog on it, but we're going to be doing several different types of podcasts where we talk about this technology. There's 800 testing variables, 26 clinical tests, 30 patents, and 60 research publications. It is tremendous. Dr. Alice Kitterman, the doctor and researcher at the center, is really fantastic. An incredibly gifted man. You know, sometimes I look at him like, oh man, I have some of those gifts. Yeah, but you can give them away. How about that? So it's a NeuroAI cloud platform. And everybody's been saying, hey, artificial intelligence. A good thing, bad thing, or whatever. Well, in this instance, AI is something that will look at all the data points. The data points are very important. So the data points are important so that we can use it as a diagnostic equipment. And the more people that we have doing the system, a chair with goggles, the more data points that we'll get and the more information that will go into the cloud and create a better treatment profile for each individual as they come through the office. So it's a rotary chair with a goggle. The goggle will have 250 images per second. It's very precise. And it looks at eye movements, whether it's a pursuit, horizontal, pursuit, vertical, whether it's a convergence or divergence, which are some of the hardest things to rehabilitate. And then you can look at predictive saccades. You can look at reactive saccades. You can look at all different things with it. And you can also look at balance aspects of otitis in the inner ear. So when you add the chair to the goggle, you're on a chair. You can be on a chair horizontal and moving this way, or you can be put back on an angle with your head in a certain position, and then you can start pairing up semicircular canals within the inner ear so that we can measure how the semicircular canals are communicating to the brainstem and the central nervous system for us to process that information properly, okay? We also have Falcon goggles. They're an open goggle, a little different. They're very sensitive to looking at vestibular ocular reflexes. So VOR is something that we've been doing a lot of and created exercise in the office for VOR rehabilitation. Looks at really kind of neck movement, okay, and eye fixation. So you fixate and you move your neck. Now there are muscles in the upper cervical, small muscles in the upper cervical, that are responsible for extension and flexion and lateral bending and rotation. And so those muscles need to be rehabilitated with the eyes to create what's called a vestibular ocular reflex. So we have the Falcon goggles, the DX200 goggles, the rotary chair, and then they have now a device that you can take home and you can do at-home exercises with it. So when you come in, get evaluated with the NeuroAI system chair with goggles. You will also go home with a CX100 device that will improve your visual movements. So that's basically what it is. Sounds basic, right? Pretty simple. It's not that simple. So DX200 BNG goggles, 3D eye tracking, micro movement detection, real-time analysis. And then we have the rotary chair, where we can put the patient not just in the horizontal position, but we can put them down, put their head in a position where we can assess anterior canal, posterior canal, anterior canal, posterior canal, depending upon the head position. The Falcon goggles, they're open goggles. You'll see it on our blog. So look at our blog after the podcast comes out. Take a look at the goggles, right? And so the NeuroAI assessment protocols are called NeuroCheck. So the systems that we can check now are a general check of anyone, any individual that wants to take a look at their eyes, the vestibular system, and the brain will come in and they'll just do a NeuroCheck. Then we can assess for fall prevention. Now, people fall and you get a traumatic brain injury with a fall. You can break bones. You can kill yourself with a fall. So fall prevention is a really important aspect of what we do in the office. Now, right now we have spinners. We can sit on a spinner We have standing spinner, a sitting spinner. We have a gyrostim. Now, none of that is going to go away. All those are going to be still utilized in the care of our patients. And so we'll utilize the NeuroAI systems for that, for fall prevention and vestibular disorders, right? All kinds of vestibular disorders. You name it, we have the ability to do it. Traumatic brain injury check. So we have a whole system and protocol that we can put people through for traumatic brain injury checks. We can do neuro assessments on athletes, elite athletes. Now, this is really underutilized in our office. Taking athletes and creating elite athletes, or taking elite athletes and getting them to perform better, is something that has always been something I love. I've done some of it, but not enough. So with this system, we'll be able to look at elite athletes and getting them to perform better on the field. Because you know that any athlete needs a system of balance that's perfect. They need a visual system that's perfect. They need a physical system related to decisions that they make about their performance to be able to be transmitted to the brain, the rest of the brain and body like that. So a neuroathlete getting checked so that we can tune them up is what they train for. You train, when an athlete's trained, they're trained to win. They're not just trained to compete. It's nice to compete, right? But if you're losing all the time, not fun. Athletes train to compete. So if you're an athlete, you're interested anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, you want to come to our center and get top-notch evaluation and therapy, then give us a call, right? Tenori athlete. Now this one is getting really personal. Now I had a stroke in my left basal ganglion. I'm Parkinson's by stroke. If that makes any sense to you, because that's the area that degenerates for Parkinson's disease. Well, you can do a PD check with this equipment. So we can do a check. We can diagnose you for certain. And then we can also rehabilitate those areas and fine-tune them so that they come back. They're not as degenerated as they used to be. Now, this one. This is coming up all the time, and it's coming up with people in their 50s and 60s. It's horrible, horrendous that we have people that are coming in with dementia, pre-Alzheimer's, or now they're calling them Alzheimer's. But dementia protocol is going to be very interesting for the dementia cases that we're already seeing. And to be able to rehabilitate them and give them their life back is a gift to the family that you won't believe. When someone starts having issues with their memory, they can't recall. They walk from one room to the next. They start forgetting where they are. They'll forget their name. They'll forget who they're with. To families, it's quite upsetting, and it's a real tragedy of our modern society that we have so much dementia and Alzheimer's. Then we can do an equilibrium check for the vestibular system to see what your equilibrium is, and then we can do a cognitive check just to check your cognitive abilities. So working with a lot of kids, you'll always get the chance what are they best at, math or English, or math and language? Are they problem solvers, or do they comprehend rather than just be able to read? So all those aspects of cognitive function we can check on NeuroAI. So these 8 different neuro checks that we can do are fabulous. They're state of the art, and we're ready at our center to take patients to get these checks done, not only with our standard diagnostic tests, but now with the NeuroAI and Spryson, we'll go even further. We'll have 2 systems this year, and we'll be able to handle the patients that are coming in. Now, all these types of cases we've already looked at and we've done before. So, it's commercial time. So we're going to look at one of our supplements, Micro Daily. Kedar Prasad is the radiation scientist that created this for radiation exposure and EMF radiation. It is a patented formula. It's not a megadose. It's a comprehensive formula. And what I like best is you can get it in tablets, but I like doing the hydro. Okay? So the hydro is just a powder, you mix it in water. This is like a citrus type of flavor. It's really good. And then we have blackberry. So blackberry or citrus, whatever you like. It's a nice foundational formula for NRF2, NFR2, antioxidant capabilities, and also for improvement in mitochondrial function. The formula is not megadose of anything, but it was formulated so that your body can work really well with it. You take it twice a day as a standard dose. We will be presenting more on this formulation, plus all of the other formulas that they have. They have an energy formula they just put out, which is really fantastic. So, click on the link above, and that link will take you to a site so that you can sign up as a customer, preferred customer, and order your first Micro Daily. I would suggest that you put it on a subscription. Now, why am I saying this one formula? And there's other formulas too. Therapeutically will help you, but most of our clients come in with 50 vitamins, bags of vitamins that they're taking all day. That's not necessary. So, click on the link above and see if you want to order the Micro Daily. They have probiotics, they have heart formulas, they have other brain formulas, they have CBD formula, they have an energy formula, sleep formula, a hormone formula for men and women. It's a great company. Kedar Prasad's 90 years old now. I've had the chance to speak to him, not as much as my buddy, Dr. Russ Court, and his wife, Jonette, who are really good friends with him. But Kedar is a great scientist, great human being, and dedicated to creating formulas that create health. So they're well researched by a fantastic researcher. I think he's one of a kind. So get it on subscription, start taking it, and you'll be healthier for it. Not only for your brain, but your general body health. Now, we have gone through our diagnostics and our new diagnostic therapeutic chair. Usually patients, when they come in, we're going to evaluate them from head to toe. We're going to document their baseline weaknesses of their system. And then from there, we come up with programs that will bring them back. our programs are not longer than 10 weeks, twice a week. Some patients may go another 10 weeks, but most of the time, patients get to 70, maybe even 80% of their full recovery. Now, patients will say, well, is it permanent? Well, if you plasticize the brain properly, you don't rebound. If you have a tract that has 5 neurons, and now you have a tract with 50 neurons, then you're not going to backtrack. Your brain and your body like health. They don't like dysfunction. And you'll get better function mentally, emotionally, and physically, because that's what the brain does. It doesn't just do one thing or the other. It's a combination of functionality and controls from the brain to the body. And the better it works, the better your life will be and the happier you'll be. So give us a call. Set up a consult. Set up a consult. We're doing phone consults now. We're going to convert our consults to video consults. I would suggest that if you have a severe neurological injury and condition, that you set up a video consult. Videos are better. It's so much easier to assess a case, knowing what they need and how to proceed if you do a video consult over a phone call. So, click on the link above and set up your video consult. It's a 15-minute consult with me. And let's all be on time and make sure that we use our time the best way and we figure out the best way to proceed to get your life back. It's all about life impact, and we want to get your life back. So God bless you. Have a great day, and hopefully see you either on a video call, a phone call, or see you in the office getting care. Thank you.